Good evening. This is the 18 WJTS News. I'm Charlotte Olson. No one was injured earlier this morning when a fire broke out in the trunk of a car located in the TriCap parking lot. Jasper Fire Department responded to the call of a car fire shortly after 8 o'clock this morning. First responders on the scene were able to put the flames out with extinguishers, and upon arrival, firefighters found a .97 caliber with smoke rising from the trunk. Firefighters were able to fully extinguish the source of the fire, which appeared to be an electrical short in the trunk near one of the taillights. Responding to the call were 25 volunteer firefighters with 3 engines, which were on scene for about 20 minutes. The Jasper High School football team and other school programs will have a new artificial turf to play and practice on throughout the year, as the proposed turf project for Jasper's Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium has received a final approval and is now an official go. After nearly 3 years of talk and discussion since it was first proposed, last night members of the Greater Jasper Consolidated School Board unanimously gave the final go-ahead to proceed with the project, which will begin next month. Not only will the facility that was first constructed in 1961 receive a new artificial turf, it will have a new track and D zones installed as well. The board approved a proposal for the cost of the turf to include a 2.5-inch blade height and just under 10 pounds of infill. It will also include the addition of the sideline letters with the naming of the field. The board also approved a proposal to remove the existing latex track surface and install a more durable polyresin track surface on the entire track, as well as to install the same type of polyresin surface to the south D zone area, which will now be asphalt paving. Total cost for the project will come in at $976,916, all of which will come from a private donor. Jasper High School Athletic Director Andy Noblet says that with turf, it will allow for the facility's use across the summer, winter, and also across the spring months. He says that the new turf will allow for the facility to be more versatile.
What we're going to be able to do is we're going to use this field a lot more than we have in our previous field. It can be used by all sports, but it can be used at all times too. It can be used in the mornings, it can be used during the day for the school kids.
Not only will the field have new turf and resurfaced track, but by next season it will also have a new name. The facility was originally known simply as Alumni Stadium when it first opened 56 years ago. A number of years ago, it was renamed Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium in honor of the legendary Jasper football coach who guided the program for 44 years, winning 368 games, which was then a state record, and a state championship was also won in 2001. Last night, the board agreed to add the name of one of the Brewers' longtime right-hand men to its title. The facility will now be known as Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium and Joe Roletter Field. Roletter served under Brewer as Jasper's defensive coordinator for 30 years before stepping down after the 1997 season. Both men are members of the Indiana Football Hall of Fame, and Roletter, who also created and coached the Jasper wrestling program for many years, was inducted into the Indiana Wrestling Hall of Fame as well. A target date of May 15th has been set for work at the field to begin and is expected to be completed by August before the start of the new football season. Fifth Street Elementary School in Jasper will have a new leader beginning next school year, and last night the Greater Jasper Consolidated School Board hired Ireland Elementary 4th grade teacher and Jasper High School girls basketball coach Ryan Ernie as the school's new principal. The 39-year-old Ernie is a 1996 graduate of Jasper High School, where he lettered in boys basketball and baseball, and as a left fielder helped the baseball program capture the program's first state championship in '96. He attended Indiana State University, where he earned an undergraduate degree in 2000 before earning his master's in education from Oakland City University and finally his administrative license. He has been with the Jasper school system for the past 17 years, teaching at Ireland as well as coaching in the JHS girls basketball program. He has been head coach of the Lady Wildcats for the last 10 seasons, compiling a record of 121 wins and 9 losses. Ernie says he's grateful for the opportunity and is looking forward to moving on to this next level in his career.
It's very exciting. I was a classroom teacher for 17 years. This is something I went to school for down at Oakland City, and I want to thank obviously the school board and Dr. Laura and Mr. Hitchcock, and Mr. Mailing has done a fantastic job of prepping me for this role, and I'm just looking forward to the challenge. It's a new stage in my life, and I'm very excited to take on this endeavor.
Next August, Ernie will replace Leah Jesse, who earlier this year announced her intentions to retire as principal at 5th Street School next month after 7 years. Officials with the DuBois County Highway Department say that bridge work will force the closing of Clay Street east of Warnsing Road in Jasper beginning early next week. The department says that starting next Monday on May the 1st, they will shut down that stretch of clay to allow for the replacement of the bridge deck. The bridge will close beginning at 8 a.m. next Monday and remain closed until Monday, May the 22nd. The 2017 Indiana legislative session has drawn to a close, and lawmakers have passed the state's next budget, which will fund all state government services for the next 2 years. Maintaining the state's position of being a national leader in fiscal responsibility was a major driving factor for District 48 State Senator Mark Messmer of Jasper and his fellow legislators while creating this budget. House Enrolled Act 1001 will maintain our pro-growth, fiscally responsible policies, such as keeping our budget balanced and maintaining strong rainy day reserves in case there is a future economic downturn. Lawmakers understand the value of high-quality education and have increased K-12 funding by $345 million, as well as increasing university operation funds by $91.3 million. Legislators have also increased funding to the Department of Child Services and have given a needed pay raise increase to the state law enforcement officers to help keep Hoosiers safe. To honor those who have defended our country, the new state budget provides $1.8 million for veteran service organizations that help veterans access benefits. Messmer said that in recent years, Indiana lawmakers have worked to create a business-friendly environment.
As a result of cutting taxes for both workers and employers, our state has been ranked the #1 business climate in the Midwest, and our unemployment rate is the lowest that it's been since 2001 and is below the national average. In addition to these efforts, we've built up our reserves and reduced state debt. As your state senator, I will continue to advocate for fiscally responsible policies that are pro-business and pro-taxpayer.
Along with passing the budget, the Indiana General Assembly passed House Enrolled Act 1002, which provides long-term funding for Indiana's transportation infrastructures. When fully phased in, Bill 1002 will provide $1.2 billion per year in new road funding, about $850 million for state highways and $350 million for local roads. Under this plan, the average Hoosier driver will pay an additional $5 to $6 per month, which includes 10-cent gas tax increase and a $15 annual BMV registration fee. As always, you can contact Messmer's office directly with your questions and concerns, and you can contact him at 800-382-9467. And make sure you keep it right here, because up next we'll take a look at your weather summary.